Okay, I think we're live. Yep. Hi, everybody. How are you? Thank you for coming. I appreciate you being here. We're going to, for anybody who doesn't know me that's here, my name is Deann, and this is my channel, Diann Shield Maiden Tarot, and we're doing political readings today. And today I've got my friend Arthur Ease Your Mind, who is really great. He's a great reader. He's a great psychic. He does meditation videos. I've listened to them all, and he's got a new one coming out I haven't heard yet. And what is that, the new one you have?
Well, I just posted one on Awaken Intuition. That's available now. And on around the 1st, I'll be posting the newest one, which is Unleash Your Creativity.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't posted that yet. And also, I do have one up there now from last year on winter solstice, where you use the energies of the winter solstice to manifest what you want for the coming year. And what I've decided to do is I've remastered it, so that'll be going up around December 15th. You can still listen to the old one, but the new one's just going to be a little bit crisper.
Just different music, or
no, same music, but just crisper, just
okay.
Remastered, better.
Okay, cool.
And,
yeah, they're great. I love them. I think that you have, like I said, you have the most relaxing. If I'm ever stressed out, I either listen to them or I probably need to call you. Arthur, talk to me. They are really good, though. They're very calming. They're very, very good. I've listened to a ton of meditation videos, and I like yours the best of all of the ones that I've listened to. And that's the truth. I'm not just saying that. I have every one of yours down. And if there's something that I need help with, I listen to that. I listen to it when I sleep and kind of put it on a loop to try to get it in my brain. So
that's how they're written. Also, for next year, I've been talking to my engineer friend, and I'm probably going to release them individually, like on iTunes, Amazon, all over the place, just so you can download it into your phone, so you don't have to worry about the video. So it's just going to be audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't really watch the video. I just listen to them with my earphones.
You're supposed to close your eyes, so I mean that's why I say.
So how can you see the picture anyway, right?
That's why I when I first started, I was really conscious of all the images changing, and then I'm realizing, wait a minute, they're supposed to have their eyes closed. So
oh, well, it's a pretty picture if they don't.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I want to see who we got in here. Thankful. Hi, Thankful. Thank you for coming. I said happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, too. I got a turkey breast, and I'm going to attempt to make it. And I am not a great cook. My mother was the cook in the family, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, usually I get Marie Callender. She makes a really wonderful little dinner that I get every year, but I was invited to friends this year, so.
Well, when Amanda was little, when my daughter was little, I did have a whole turkey, and you know how they have the stuff, the innards inside? Yeah. I didn't want to touch that. I'm such a wuss. I paid her $1 to get it out for me. I gave her tongs, and I called my mother, and I'm like, what do I do with this stuff? She goes, well, you cut it up and you put it in the dressing. I'm like, what? She goes, well, you've been eating it your whole life. I didn't even know that. I'm like, I've been eating this. But yeah, it was good when she made it. And see, Teresa, you're here. We're going to do political questions today. So if you guys want to put your questions in capital letters, I've got some things to talk about, but maybe we can answer some of your questions too. And Bora, thank you for saying to like and subscribe and share. It really does help the algorithm, and I appreciate it. And if I get 4,000 viewers, I'm only 400 and something away. So when I get to 4,000, I'm giving away 4 free readings. So please help me get there. And Arthur, his link is in the description box, and I've got it in the chat too, a couple places. No problem. Annie Moore, nice to see you. And Sandra Marks, I see you. Then Sandra, I've got your question. We'll see if we can answer. We're mainly doing political, though. Let's see. Oh, you got the link to my channel in the description box. Thank you so much, Bora Bora. That's really nice. Thank you, all the moderators. Peppermint Candy. Hi, she's a member on my channel. I do have membership too for anybody who's interested. We do a lot of fun stuff. In fact, I'm doing a video today for them. And let's see. Oops. All right, let's see. I think we got new comments. All right. You buy smoked slices from Honey Baked Turkey? Is that what you said? I buy smoked turkey slices. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a turkey person. I like the stuffing. And that's what I like. Probably the worst thing for me.
Oh, I've been known to just get a box of stovetop stuffing and make that for dinner. So, yeah, my doctor doesn't like it, but I do.
Stovetop stuffing. You know, I used to always get on people's case. It's like my friend said. I go, what kind of stuffing you have? She goes, stovetop stuffing. I go, what? Stovetop stuffing? You know, because my mother and I, we used to break the bread and
yeah, I mean, our kids are doing that, but you know, I live by myself, so it's like, you know, at 66, like, yeah, I'm really gonna like put from scratch now.
Well, I used to love when I was a kid, me and my brother breaking the bread in the big old pan the day before, and then you'd let it dry, and then mom, you know, she puts chicken broth and sage, and oh, it's so good, but it gives you heartburn. The rest of the day you have heartburn, but it was so good. Let's see. I'm just looking to get through. Anybody got any? Oh, okay. Trump's gag order. You want to know about that? Okay, I got you. Let me see. Any other questions? Oh, Peggy Jean says, can you explain what's going on today? Everyone, including me, is having electronic or electrical issues. I don't know. I know whenever it's a Mercury retrograde, that happens to me.
Sometimes when it depends on if there's flares, solar flares.
Solar flares will do that too?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Okay, let's see. So I'm looking here. I got your question, Annie Moore. And it says, I don't know what's going on. It says, YouTube says, Arthur, ease your mind. Then you and Tanya are on. What?
Where's that?
On my channel or on Arthur's channel, Sherry? On YouTube, it says, Arthur, ease your mind. Then YouTube and Tanya are on. I don't know, Sherry. I'll have to check that out. Anybody else having that? Thankful's making cornbread dressing. Dark meat turkey is my weakness, Ron DeForest said. My husband likes that too. Okay, I got your question, Kathy. And I got your question, Steve. And let's see. Come on, Arthur. Don't tell us you aren't in a relationship. You're super cute with an awesome personality, Ron said. I think so too, Ron. I think so too. Those women should be... Yeah, I think he's cute too and an awesome personality. What's wrong with these people?
I'm in a relationship. I think we're going to name him Ralph, by the way. This is Ralph.
You're going to name him Ralph?
Yeah, this is
I was thinking Ralph or George, one or the other, but Ralph seems to fit him better.
Ralph. No, George has too many connotations at this point in time. I'd have to put little glasses on him and get him Botox.
Oh, God. Well, I had let's see
watch
here.
That porn, George. Stop. Oh, you're using the funds you got from running for Congress or for the House. No, don't do that. That's not good.
Well, I was telling I'll answer your questions first, and then I've got some things written down too if we run out of questions to read on. MJ420 says, will Cannon be removed from the case? I feel yes.
Yes. Smith is biding his time. He's setting her up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because the thing is, she already learned her lesson that when she turned things around too fast, then it went to the appellate court, and they were able to, knock her down. So she's been like just pushing the envelope here and there.
Yep.
So everything she's doing is like, oh, I'm just rechanging my schedule. That's all this is. It's about scheduling. Yeah, and I've got a bridge in Brooklyn, and Sherry has some swampland, and
they're watching her.
Yeah.
They're definitely watching her.
Whenever there were a couple shows I've done is like I have a woman being shot from a cannon when I talk about her.
Well, it's obvious. It's obvious to everybody that she's biased,
You got Mr. Magoo not to see it. And I'm sure he could even see it. So
I know. Yeah, I get her as the devil. Yeah, she's guarded. She's going to have some challenges. Here's Cannon. It's either her or Trump that she's dealing with, the devil.
it's the same energy.
She's going to have some challenges. Yeah.
And I just pulled one card.
What'd you get?
The man of importance, Jack Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, and then I got her the 8 of Swords, feeling trapped. Yeah, everything is saying, yeah, she's going to go. Do you have any feelings about when that might be?
February.
It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I keep on getting well, put it this way. I'm hearing February, but I'm going to say no later than February. It could be earlier than that.
Let me use my pendulum board. Okay, I'm getting February too. When will Cannon? Will it be January? Will she be removed in January? Will she be removed in February? Show me stronger. I'm getting February on the pendulum mat, and then when I did that, so I think we're both getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Trump gag order. Thankful's asking about.
Well, there's two. There's the DC one that they spoke about today in court, and then there's the one with in New York for the fraud case.
Mm-hmm.
Now the one there, he's not going to get away with it. They're going to reimpose the gag orders.
Yeah,
to be limited, but both in New York they had to remove the gag. They removed the gag order temporarily to put a stay on it because it has to go amongst all the judges.
Yeah.
Now today they had in DC against 3 judges, and they painted Trump's people into a corner every time. They were just saying, "Oh, First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment." Well, when you're when you're a criminal, you lose your First Amendment rights. I don't care if you're running for president or not; you still lose your rights. You can't say what you want. And so I listened to some of they had an audio version they released of the hearing, and so I listened to some of that, and it was just like laughable. But also, you could see how these 3 judges, masterfully just painted them into corners. Trump's lawyers in the corner. So the gag orders are going to be reinstated.
Well, he's threatening. It's to the point. It's First Amendment, but when your First Amendment rights is endangering people's lives, he's trying to.
Well, that's what they were trying to say.
Jack White, his
it's
kid.
I mean, yeah, it's nuts. I mean, when Trump was talking about chucking, and all of a sudden, the woman from Texas, is threatening her life to assassinate her, calling it N-word and a slave and all this other stuff. It's like they're hideous people.
And you got to take that serious because that's happened before. There was a judge, wasn't it the family? Was it the husband or the kid or something opened the door and got shot? They were looking for her. And then look what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband. So they've got to take
which they all made fun of.
Yeah, that ticked me off. Which people
when they're trying to make it sound like he was hiring a gay escort or something. Like what?
Yeah, that was terrible. I even had a friend that told me that, and I got so upset because she was, this was somebody I've known since high school, and she hates Nancy Pelosi, and she was laughing about it. And I thought this is not something to laugh about. This is somebody's grandfather, somebody's husband. This is a human being. Even if it was Trump, I don't like Trump, but I would never laugh at something like that. That's horrible. So they do got to take it serious. And I think, he'll get a gag order. But like you said, it'll be limited. They'll have to give him some rights to speak, but not against people in the court.
But you can't, because in New York, when it was lifted to put the stay on it, right away, he went after Jack Smith. And first, when it was put, in DC, he went after Jack Smith, his family, his wife, Jack Smith's daughter. And then when the stay was put in the New York, he went after the law clerk again. You know, just all this part. And what they're trying to say is one case has nothing to do with the other, but they are. They're all connected. If he's bad-mouthing somebody here, he's going to be mad-mouthing someone elsewhere. He's inciting people.
Yep.
You know?
And my friend Mimi Rose says, yes, Deann, of course. She said the judge was a Democrat, too, that happened to. You know, I noticed something, and I don't know if anybody else here has noticed it or if you've noticed it. I was going, I think I told you guys, I was going to the grocery store, and the truck in front of me had signs on it. Biden, all of F Biden, and I'm thinking, I have never seen, as much as we can't stand Trump, I have never seen a Democrat with things on their car saying F Trump and stuff like that. And the thing is I feel like as a Democrat, you feel like you're unsafe to do that. You feel like, you know, one of these crazy people is going to see you and start something. But why do they feel like so emboldened to put those things?
But we may think it, but we don't, you know, we're not emboldened. I mean, we have decorum. Sorry.
But doesn't that tell you something about the two parties right there? Yeah. The fact that one can, and then he put his face on the flag.
And the thing is, there's a difference between Republicans and MAGA Republicans. There's a difference.
There is.
You know.
There is. And Mimi Rose says Trump's a mob boss. They call him boss. Remember what was her name said? Yeah, we all call him boss, the boss.
Jenny.
That's not mob-like.
Jen Ellis.
Let's see here. So yeah, that gag order, they're going to get that. Let's see what else. What will happen to Don Jr. And let's see, where will he go? Annie Moore says. How are you feeling? At first, I thought he might be going to jail, but now I'm feeling like Eric needs to watch it. I feel like they may turn on Eric. His dad will turn on any of them. I think Ivanka's not going to jail, but Don and Eric.
I don't mean to cut you off on here, but every time I look at those two brothers, I get the same energy as the Mendez brothers.
You do?
That same creepy, yeah.
Yeah. And Don just wants to be like his father. You know, he even does the hand motions like his father, you know, and Eric, I feel almost sorry for because, you know, because, you know, just they want their father's love and they'll do anything for it, that they're going to go down the tube with him just to get it, you know. Let me see. I'm going to ask you guys and see what my pendulum says. Is Don Jr. going to jail? Is he going to jail? Okay, it's saying at this time, the energy is saying no. Is Eric Trump going to jail? Will Eric Trump go to jail? Will he be convicted? See, I'm getting a yes on Eric, a big yes. I just got a feeling that Don Jr. is like his dad.
Under the bus.
He's going to throw his little brother under the bus to save himself. And I think Daddy will too. But one of them's going to jail. But first I thought it'd be Junior, but now I'm thinking Junior is just like his dad. He's going to throw his little brother under the bus. What do you think?
The only thing is, I have a feeling that Don Jr. may come out. I still feel he's going I don't know. What I'm getting right this moment is I still feel he's perjured himself. So yeah, he's going to.
Oh yeah, he did, because he showed that video. Remember the video he showed that
they're both perjured themselves and they're going to get in trouble for it. So I don't feel that they're going to get away with this unscathed in any way, shape, or form. And from day one, I always said the fraud case is the one that's going to rip this family apart.
Yeah, I don't see what's Don Jr. is kind of iffy. Eric go to jail. Eric go to jail. Eric Trump go to jail. Yeah, I get Eric Trump as the fool. And that, yes, that he's going to go to jail. So we'll see. We shall see. I think they both deserve to go to jail. I think they both deserve to go to jail. So maybe as things get closer, we'll find out more. But you're right. Don Jr. did. I think he made his dad's case worse when he showed that video. He showed more fraud than they even knew, and said there was a Trump premium tax or whatever. And I think that just made their case stronger. And now they're going to even want more money from Trump. They're going to lose more than they originally were.
It's going to hit over $500 million, over 500 million. It's going to hit that. And
oh yeah,
you know,
and that's just one case. That's just one case.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, like everyone's heard of Schindler's List.
Yes, yes.
And then there's Arthur's S list, believe me, and they're all on it.
I remember my dad saying that. You're on my S list.
Yes, yes. Precious Georgie Porgy is going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going. What happened was originally it was supposed to be a 2/3 vote against him, and even the Democrats said, "Nah, keep him in there." The reason being is because they had not officially come out with the ethics committee, had not published their findings. Now, the ethics committee themselves came out on the 16th. On the 17th, the head of the ethics committee said, yeah, we're putting in a resolution to get this guy expelled. So now that there's paperwork on it, and it's the ethics committee, which is bipartisan, he's going. And I've always said, you know, like I did the show last night. I just said the song that keeps on coming in my head is he had it coming. I mean, the fact he lied about everything.
And then he was on, this is funny. He was on Fox News, and they were interviewing him. And this is Fox News, mind you. And the lady was saying, so what is this about the All Fans page? You know, you're spending money on All Fans. He goes, oh, I don't even know what that is. I just heard that, and I don't even know what an All Fans page is. She goes, oh, so you're still lying. That's what she said.
It's OnlyFans, you know.
OnlyFans, whatever. Yeah. See, I don't know what it is, but I'm telling the truth. But she said, "Oh, you're still lying."
That's what I said. Lorena that's Bobart's going to have after she gets kicked out. You know,
what's that?
An OnlyFans page.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
she is the most ignorant. I don't know how she got into Congress. Well, I do know how.
Georgie, Precious George. I mean, Hermes, Botox, Sephora. Yeah,
a scarf. Remember the fancy scarf he had to have. And I mean, my gosh, they're just making it sound like if you're in trouble with the law, run for president, because, you know, you're supposed to be free, scot-free, rob a bank, and run for president.
Republicans that are repulsed by him. I mean, it was the New York the New York Republicans that wanted to get him ousted. Before.
Yes, and I think he will be ousted. I think they don't want to because they want to vote.
Monday after Thanksgiving. The Monday after Thanksgiving will be the vote.
Will they? I think they have to almost. I mean, he is just, everyone knows that he is so corrupt. They're all corrupt, but everything about him is corrupt. And it's going to be demanded that they let him go.
Yeah.
And then a Democrat, I think, will get in. Let me see. I wonder if a Democrat will get in.
Yeah, no, you don't have to be a psychic to know that. A Democrat will get in.
So I'll just say, I know it already, but I'll just show you guys, see what it says. Will George Santos be removed from Congress? Show me stronger. Yes. Will a Democrat take his place? Yes. And then I got the yes card. So a lot of evidence against him.
Is that the 10?
Yep.
10 of Cups?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the voter card.
He's finished. Finito. And he deserves to be.
He's going to do some time.
He definitely is going to do some time. He's going to do, I think they're going to give him, let me just double check again.
Well, there are 23 indictments against him.
Will he get 8 years? I think he's going to get about 9 years. I don't think he'll serve it all, but I think he's going to get about 9 years. Let me throw one of your cards, see what I get. I used your cards a couple times that you got me. I like these cards.
We're talking about the Lenormand deck.
The one I keep mispronouncing.
Yeah, there are 23 federal criminal charges against him.
Well, this one, 14, this would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, here's a 9 here. So it could be anywhere from 5 to 9 years, I think.
And he's a fox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fox. Look at that. Sneaky, sly. Makes a nice, probably got a scarf made of that. Remember when they used to do that? Have scarves made of fox, or was it fox stole? Where they had the head and, and I think it was in the 50s or 60s.
60s?
60s, was it?
Yeah.
That always grossed me out.
Minks. A fox stole, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny that it was the fox card as well. I'm glad you pointed that out to me. I didn't realize that at first. Steve Myers, question, will Jack Smith work through the holiday? Is he getting close to the indictments?
He'll be working.
Well, Jack
he already has the list. He already has
through the holidays. Yes. Okay, stop. Is he getting close to the indictments? Yes. There's more coming, but it depends on
first he wants to go after Trump. I mean, that's number one. He already has the whole list of unnamed co-conspirators. So once he gets the Trump stuff underway, then as we get to, I want to say at the end of the first quarter of 2024, that would be March, April, in the sign of Aries. That's when he starts dropping the other names.
Oh, gosh. Well, George Santos, a.k.a. fill in the blank, should be smelling burnt toast by now. He says, yes, you're right.
Don't give that burnt toast a bad name. I always say that he has 2 songs. He has to learn the song from Chicago, When You're Good to Mama, Mama's Good to You. You know.
I love that song. I love that song.
Yeah, when
I love that show. Oh, yeah, or that tango, the tango. I forget what that was called. Where they're all
his, God.
He had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I love that. I don't know how many times I've watched that. Let's see. What was this? But guys, Eric was just making cement. Didn't know he was a blue collar guy. What? What was that about?
That's what he said. He said, I was just making the cement. Yeah, really. Sure. Like in shoes for your dad?
Yeah. They wouldn't know how to do any manual labor at all. Let's see here. I'm just looking to see if I didn't miss anything. Okay. Aha, here's one I want to answer. What is Mike Johnson hiding in the closet? There's some stuff coming out about him. I think that there is sexual things coming out about him. And I'm going to I got to ask my pendulum a question here. Okay, he's having sexual things coming out about him. It could have to do with his son that he adopted. I'm not sure. He'd adopted a kid when he was in his 20s. The kid was in his teens. You don't see him in any of the family pictures.
The boy was 14. He was 25.
Yeah, that's odd. That's odd.
And it was 2 years before he got married.
Now he
has 4 children now. Remember, he shares his
porn app with a 17-year-old
which is kind of in itself is creepy.
It is creepy.
Yeah.
If you are this big Christian that he portrays himself to be, first of all, why are you having such a problem with porn? Just don't watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. And why would you give your 17-year-old son access to this information? Because any 17-year-old kid is going to look at it themselves. And then it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Anytime you tell a 17-year-old kid, don't look at it, okay.
They're going to look at it. If you told me don't look at something at 17, if my mom's here to take this, now don't look at it. That's going to be so tempting for me to look.
That's like a red button saying, don't press me.
I did that once, by the way. Yeah. I moved into an apartment, and you guys, it was my first apartment, and it had a red button in the bedroom. and I didn't know what it was. And you can't have a red button and not find out what it is. So I'm like, ooh, I wonder what this is for. So I pushed the red button. Alarms went out throughout the whole building. I'm holding like a TV set. I open the door. All my neighbors are coming out, and I just go, hi, I'm Deann, and I'm your new neighbor. Nice to meet you. I just found out what the red button was for. I was so embarrassed. But that was a great first impression, I tell you.
I did that as a little kid with my brother. It's like my brother dared me. I dare you not to press that button. It was in the department store. I pressed it. Everybody in the escalator. The escalator stopped.
Oh
no. My father just like picked both of us up and grabbed us.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even a kid though, and I pushed the red button. That's the first time I set off alarm.
It was your inner child.
It was. And then my first job that I had at an ophthalmology office, I wanted to make a good impression, and I showed up early, and I had a key to the place, and I let myself in, and I didn't know that you had to push a code. The first person in has to push a code or the alarms will go off. I didn't know the code. Nobody was there. Fire trucks, police came, alarms. They're going, how do you shut it off? I'm holding my ears. I go, I don't know. So again, I made a good first impression.
But as far as Mike Johnson hiding in the closet, or is there stuff hiding in the closet? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'd see him being removed. I don't see him being there long.
Here's my prediction on that. I predict, as everyone knows, when I first saw when his name was first released, within 10 minutes, I was on my community page. He will be gone by May.
You think
Scandal, May? Scandal. Yeah, by May. No later than May. I think it's, and then I was doing a show last night, and I said that I felt that the Whisper campaign against him will start at the end of January into February when we sign of Aquarius. And then shortly after he will be gone, there'll be a placeholder. And then I do feel that Hakeem Jeffries is actually going to be voted in before the elections.
I think so too. I've been getting that too, because they can't make up their minds. They can't. This is what, the second time, the third time.
Hakeem Jeffries had more votes than Jim Jordan.
There are going to be Republicans that are going to finally get some you-know-whats and decide that, listen, this is enough. Let's vote for him. At least we can try to have some compromise in this house. They're tired of the MAGA, the 7 or 8 big, Marjorie Taylor Greenes, all of them. They're tired, Matt Gaetz, and they're running everything. And I think some of the Republicans before they were fearful, but now they're getting sick of it, and they see the change coming.
They're running everything called their mouths. They don't know history. They don't know politics. They never took a civics class in their life. And they're using Congress not to help the betterment of mankind, but just to help their own brand. Especially like when Marjorie Taylor Greene was screaming at Christopher Wray this week, what, you don't want, you don't want to follow my Twitter page?
Yeah.
The FBI. I mean, she's upset that he doesn't follow her on Twitter.
I don't follow anybody on Twitter. I don't, or X or whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't even understand the purpose of it. It's like, just tell people what you're doing. Now
it's like, I'm like, how do I get rid of it? Or an X account. I mean, I have no social, I'm on an Instagram maybe, but that's about it. And I didn't even go there. So.
Yeah, I tried to open one up to see what it was, Arthur. I tried to open up a Twitter account, and now I can't get rid of it. I don't use it, but I can't get rid of it. Marilyn wanted to know what's with these grown Republican men adopting teens. Matt Gaetz adopted a boy too. Same situation. Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know what it's weird, or if it's like servitude. Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to tell my sister, I think my parents just had us to have slaves. So go upstairs, get my cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Elizabeth says, same with Amy Comey Barrett. She's grooming her adopted children to be the same. Well, they talk about the Democrats grooming, or somebody, that is gay grooming, and they're the ones doing it.
A gay man grooming, who does not have a gay man grooming is Sarah Huckabee. Have you ever seen her? I mean, if she's a gay friend, they tell you look like shit in that. Ooh, you look like crap in that outfit, you know?
Yes. Somebody needs to tell her. Not that I'm a fashionista myself, but I'm not in public. Well, I guess kind of.
Sorry, I'm a potty mouth. Sorry.
Mike gives me the heebie-jeebies. I think
Heebie-jeebies.
he likes kids. Yeah, entertainment purposes only, but makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, Univision hosting of Trump while canceling Biden's ads and the Democrats' rebuttal backfire.
Yes. Yep.
What is this about? Tell me. I'm not sure if I understand this one. Univision.
Univision, it's a network, a cable network.
Oh, okay, I hadn't heard of it.
And that they canceled all. Biden took out ads, and they canceled them. Probably because Trump wanted them to. I mean, the thing is, don't forget, there are only 6 companies that own all of the broadcast networks in the States. Only 6 companies. And they want clickbait. They want that's why when you look at stuff, it's like they whitewash everything that Trump does and make him equal to Biden, or Biden's worse than Trump. And they always underplay Biden because, create chaos, creates bucks for them in their pocket. That's why I don't watch them.
I didn't even know about that channel. So that seems wrong. So you think it's going to backfire?
Well, yeah, of course. It's just like Newsmax. I mean, the thing is, I'm predicting that all these Trump foddered companies, when he starts going downhill, they're going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, because what are they going to do when he's gone? He's going to be gone eventually, and they're just betting everything on him. I mean, people are going to find out about him.
What, they're going to do what? The Terry Lake special? I mean, come on. They're going to bring in people like that. The Trump wannabes. That's not going to last. Right.
Yep. And when the majority of the country does find out that they've been lied to all this time about a lot of stuff, that's going to be hurting their networks too, and their channels too. And I think they will. There's enough cases that are going to prove it.
I actually feel this is going to be a shift as we get into end of February into March. I really feel that Biden's poll numbers are going to start going up, and he's going to start getting favorable reviews on what he's doing, because the writing's on the wall with, the orange menace.
Yep, it is. I was looking at my pendulum about the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. When will he leave in January? Will it be February, March, April, May? I'm getting May, and then I pulled June. So between May and June.
I got June, July for Hakeem Jeffries.
But it shows, this is the one you told me, where it's like the clouds being moved. It's going to be clear what he was hiding behind those clouds. The secrets he was hiding it's going to move.
Well,
they're going to find out.
But also, the dark clouds are storm clouds. So the storm clouds are being moved away, and the light clouds are coming in.
Yep. And I also feel like, that what he's done is going to be revealed too. So one of Univision's biggest anchors quit, Pixie Dust said.
Oh, good.
Let's see. What do we got here? TFG has come out again this past weekend about caging immigrant children. Yes, I wanted to talk about that. Will the DOJ go after Stephen Miller and offer what happened to the kids who were separated before? I'm going to read on that, but I wanted everybody to know how important it is that you vote against this guy. If anybody's watching this that doesn't know, if Trump gets in, or if a Republican gets in, they are talking about giving the homeless a choice of being in Tent City or being in jail. And in Tent City, they're going to be away far away. We don't know what's going on with them. The migrants, they want to put them in Tent City, they said. And it said that he wants to make Tent City for the homeless and the immigrants. Trump wants to end birthright citizenship. I have friends who were born here that have worked here and been here their whole life. They could be deported. He's not going to win, but I'm just saying, if people don't vote, he could. So don't vote independent either, because you're voting for Trump if you do that. He says it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. This is Miller too. They want to sweep the workplaces and deport Mexicans. And if they are legal, they may have a hard time getting back in, because he'll appoint judges and staff who are against migrants. And this is not limited to new arrivals. He wants to deport people who have been living here for decades. He will deport the birthright citizens and ask them to try to get back in, and it'll be tied up in court. Also, Vivek Ramaswamy wants to also end birthright citizenship, even though he is a recipient of it. Both his parents came here from India and had him while they were not citizens. His father never became an American citizen, so why would he not be deported? He recently said he'll deport any foreign students who protest Palestinians, and this is going to cause a huge labor shortage if he does this. In Florida, DeSantis, he made rules talking about putting these seasonal workers in jail, so they quit coming. The farmers are upset. They don't have anybody to work their farms, and they're trying to tell these people, oh, don't listen to that law. It's just political. Come on back. And they're not doing it, because they're afraid, what if they come back and then they arrest them? And some people think they want to try to do it for free labor, keep them here in Tent City. And while you can stay here, we'll give you food and shelter in a tent, but you're going to go and work free, meat packing, farming, wherever we want you to. Because you know what happened with Japan, back in the war. He also wants to deport Afghanistans who were pulled from the country as political refugees after we pulled out of the war. They could be killed by the Taliban if they're sent back. They're people that helped us that he wants to send back, and they're going to get killed by the Taliban because they cooperated with the United States. These are people without a country. He wants to deport the Dreamers too. And our population is in decline, and we need more people to prop up the economy and help the social safety net. So so this is going to affect farmers. He sounds like Hitler is what he sounds like, calling people vermin. He's not going to get in, but please, I'm just saying all this so you guys vote him out, because if he can do that, he's treating homeless people. You could be homeless. I could be homeless. Any of us could be homeless. If they quit Social Security, I'd be homeless. My husband would be homeless, so it could affect any one of us. So if you're a Republican, you better think twice before voting him, because it's going to affect you. I have friends that have lived here their whole life. If they got sent to Mexico, they don't even speak Spanish, they'd be lost. So the question, I'm sorry, you guys, I went on a rant on that, but it upset me, because I have friends that I've known my whole life. And I think it's important that people know how important it is to vote. But and the thing is, I have friends that are Hispanic that are voting for Trump. And I'm like, why? And that are gay and Hispanic and voting for Trump. And I was like, why would you do that? You're voting against yourself. So he's just got some people brainwashed. Yeah. But TFC's come out again the past weekend about caging immigrant children. Will the DOJ go after Stephen Miller? I want to see that too. They should, because some of those kids are gone.
There's still children that have never been reunited with their families and never will be.
And did you see they separated those pretty little girls and had them walking away separately? And it worries me that they might have put them in some sort of trafficking thing. Because whatever the Republicans accuse the Democrats of doing, they're doing,
Exactly.
So if they're accusing and making movies, accusing the Democrats of doing this, it's because they're covering up they're doing it, and I worry about what happened to those kids. And let me see, Stephen Miller. Will Stephen Miller be prosecuted? Yes. I think when the Democrats take over, he's going to be in trouble. Some of the things he's done are almost like crimes against humanity.
Exactly. And every time I see the energy around Steve Miller, it's just beyond creepazoid. It's like I want to take a shower. It's just ugly.
Like he would be in a vampire horror movie or something. Only he's too evil to play that part.
But he's just, you know, I don't know why. And the thing that got me was when they separated these children back then, they were charging the government $750 a night for each child. That's what the government was paying to house these children, was $750 a night.
Wow.
And all they gave him was what? A sheet of tinfoil, Malamar as a blanket?
Yes. Yes, those poor babies. I cried.
You think it would be a nice fluffy blanket, nice, wonderful bed, like at Four Seasons or something like that? No.
I know. I cried. Those poor babies. They had the older ones taking care of the little ones, and that there was one where this little girl was just crying. She had her aunt's number written on her hand. It's my aunt's number. You remember that? And she just sobbing. And they weren't allowed to hug the kids. Not even allowed to hug them or comfort them. It's immoral. And standing over them with a gun, they had to be frightened and scared, and their poor parents had to be devastated. They told the parents they were going to give those kids a bath and bring them right back, and never brought them back. And I think one guy hung himself because it was his only son. So he's going to pay for that. He's going to pay for that one way or another. I got that they will go forward with things. He did some things for money too. I think they got money for these kids. Like you said, they got all this money for each kid, and they didn't use it on the kids. They took the money. And I think there will be some, there's going to be some painful choices. There may be in denial about it, but I feel eventually some of the kids will get back to their parents, but he's in trouble. I don't know when it's going to happen, but you don't put out that kind of evil and not have it come back to you. I mean, don't you just feel like an evil vibe from him? Like, well,
it was like, I'll be honest with you. Every time I saw him like in a Nazi uniform.
And Elizabeth says Miller has energy like Jared Kushner. They were exploiting these children for government money or trafficking. Yes, they were. I believe that. I really do believe that.
Every time I see Jared Kushner, it's like, it reminds me of the eyes of a shark. Not to give a shark a bad name, but there's no depth to it. Just nothing.
And I forget who said they wanted to be the AG if Trump got in. And they said if they got in, said they were going to put kids back in cages, and they were it was going to be worse, the stuff there. And they said, and we are going to, it's going to be glorious.
I'm also saying if he gets back in, the first thing he's going to do is like institutionalize Jack Smith and Bonnie Willis.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
One against him. He's going to institutionalize.
Yeah, and they want to arrest Biden.
Our country? Really?
I know. And arrest Biden for like nothing, just nothing. They're trying to, golly, what
Biden's crime was?
What?
He won.
Exactly. And now they thought they had something because they're like, oh, he had loaned his brother when he was a private citizen, $200,000. His brother paid him back. And it says repayment of loan. They're trying to make that dirty.
And then you notice when they were cornering Precious Georgie Porgy about what he had done, he goes, well, the Biden family, they took all this money, and it's like, and even the reporters were going, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And then another congressman, he loaned money to his brother while in Congress. Biden was a private citizen. And got it back. So it's like, well, isn't
that? And then he screamed it. And then when somebody brought that up, he screamed at the person.
Called him a Smurf. said you look like a Smurf because he had a blue suit on.
Yes.
Well, how childish, huh? And then we got senators wanting to start fist fights in Congress. And then another ex-speaker of the House wanting to elbow other Republicans in the. He did. You could tell his voice. You can tell when somebody's lying. Their voice
other
is
guy
so high.
is going to take his ring off and fight the guy. And the only adult in the room was Bernie Sanders. You're a senator. You're a United States senator. Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah, act like it. He said. You know. It's like
then they showed pictures of they showed pictures of the guy like at a podium, and he's standing on like they call them pancakes, on set when you have that little box to stand on.
Yeah,
it's probably a short man, so it's a little height problem probably.
But he's also a martial arts, professional martial arts person.
Yeah, you don't go against the head of the Teamsters. I mean,
you look like built like a rock. That guy looked like a rock. It's like you can.
Still going against the Teamsters. I mean, that's when you have your wife turn the car on in the morning,
Exactly. Yeah. And that guy said, come on, he goes, will you stand up? He sounded like Bernie was controlling junior high school, bad behaving junior high school students.
So sophomoric. It's unbelievable.
Ron says, unfortunately, voting against your own interest isn't a small thing. It's usually due to a single issue like abortion. Doesn't matter what else is going on as long as one issue is being looked at. And yeah, Ron, I have friends that say they're voting for Trump because they don't believe in abortion. However, there is nothing in there. I try to explain, what if your daughter was going to die because she had a tubal pregnancy and it's not viable? Would you want her to have that? And I had one friend say, well, I would pray for her. And I'm like, it's scientifically, she's not going to have that baby. She's going to die. She just said no. And then I said, well, what if you had, a 10-year-old that's raped? And, would you force your grandchild to have that baby? And she says, well, I don't believe. I go, so do you think, so you think your choices should be everybody's choices? You should get to make the choice for everybody's family. That's not fair. You make the choice for your body. You don't believe in it, don't do it, But yeah, I agree. It's just.
Well, that's this whole separation of church and state stuff. I mean, it's just nuts.
It is.
They're trying to make their religion everyone else's religion. And that's not what it's about.
Right. And it's not fair. It's okay. Everybody should be able to have their own religion and their own beliefs, but it shouldn't be the law, because then you're going back to the times of, I was watching, Salem last night, and they had the Puritans, this one's a witch, that one's a witch, so anybody who doesn't agree with you, but they're a witch, they're a criminal. It's just, Stephen Miller was a former Nazi, Jewish this life, and hasn't learned a damn thing. Well, I know he hasn't learned a thing for sure. Yeah, and entertainment purposes only, don't want to get in trouble, but these people it's like, I got to sit there and I got to remember, you guys, and I tell you this, but I got to remember myself to stay calm, because everything is, yes, I get excited too with all this stuff, but I tell you what, it's going to be okay. I know it's going to be okay, but because I know you guys are going to vote and bring whoever you can to vote.
Well, if anybody watches my show, they know my favorite words are vote, vote, vote. And not just for the big ticket items, but start with the Rotary clubs and the school boards.
Yes.
That's how we have to start. You can't, it's like I tell a story where friends were like, well, Hillary's going to win. So why? It's like, Hillary's not going to win, is what I was telling people. And they wouldn't talk to me for like weeks, because I said Hillary's going to not win. Trump was going to get in. I said, it's all could be changed if you'd vote. And the same thing here is, we have to vote. We can't just sit on our laurels and say, well, somebody will vote for him, he's going to win. No, everyone's vote is important. Everyone has to get out there and vote. And those that think they don't have to, think again.
Yep. Yep. I just banned somebody. I didn't know. Maybe Paula Berlinski said something about Deann just had 3 COVID blood clot shots or whatever. I don't know what they mean by that. It is, he's right. Whoever that is, I did have my COVID vaccinations. However, everybody has that choice, and you can have a bad
Hey,
reaction.
I got a flu shot. I got the flu from it. Okay.
Exactly.
So it means my body's working overtime that it works. Okay.
Yep.
But then again, I was also in bed for 3 months with pneumonia and a collapsed lung. So yes, I did get a COVID shot.
Yep. And you guys, I'm not fearful. I'm not trying to be fearful, and I don't want you to be fearful. I just am passionate about the things these people say, that we just got to know. People got to know what they're talking about, because I have many friends who are voting for him who don't know any of this stuff.
It's misinformation, disinformation. And, all I can say is don't go down to their level. We have to send our love and light to them all so that they get the light and they get to see what the light is.
Yes.
And they get to see what the truth is. And I always say, every nook and cranny on this planet that's dark, send light to, please. Because as the saying goes, one lit candle is brighter than the sun in a dark room.
And there will come a time, I really believe there is going to come a time when all this truth is going to come out, and all those family members and friends that separated that because, they were so pro-Trump, they're going to realize they were duped. And they may come back to us, and we've got to welcome them back. We can't make them feel like, see, I told you so. Because, you know how it is when you make a mistake. You feel duped. You feel really stupid.
Look,
you don't want to make them feel like that.
When I've been called the black sheep of the family, I just turn around and say, actually, no, I'm the white sheep of the family, people. Think about it.
And then Elizabeth says, if you're unable to do the vaccines, you can wear a mask. Yeah. Some people don't want to take it.
I still wear a mask. People look at me.
I still wear a mask too. I do now because I started wearing it again because this time of year I have autoimmune disease, and this time of year I always end up getting the flu. So I had a flu shot scheduled, and then I mixed up the day and I didn't get it. So, and another COVID shot. So 4th COVID shot.
Well,
and never had any issues.
It was the end of December in 2019. I started feeling really crappy. And I had pneumonia as a child. So growing up, it was never like I got bronchitis. I would get some form of pneumonia. So at the beginning of 2020, in January, I developed pneumonia and then a collapsed lung.
Oh, wow.
And then I started losing my eyesight. I started losing my hearing. I went to 4 specialists. Nobody could figure out what I had. They put me on these different medications, and I was wheezing. I was in bed for 3 months. So finally, I have a friend who's an incredible healer, and I finally called her, and she said, "Why are you calling? Why did you wait for so long?" I said, "Well, whatever."
Kept thinking it would get better sooner.
And she said, "I've never seen this before. This is something really exotic. I have never seen this before. It's like a virus you have, and your lung is getting solid." And so we worked like 2 weeks, and she worked on this. And I finally went back to the doctors, and they said, things are just clearing up. I guess the meds we gave you are working. I said, I've been working with a healer. Are you kidding?
Did you tell them that?
Yeah, I did. And now I talk to my doctor, and I talked to my friend, the healer, and I said, we were talking about the other, because, yeah, that was an exotic virus. I said, yeah, because they didn't have a name for it. Now it's called COVID. Because if you go down the checklist, everything that's on that checklist of what symptoms of COVID were, I had. And I still get a little bit of brain fog from it, because I'm senior moments. I just COVID. But it's seriously, it was not fun. I was in bed for 3 months, and then when people say, "Well, I'm not getting a COVID shot," I'm like, really? I could have died. So yeah, I'm getting a COVID shot, people, and I wear a mask. And I don't talk about this personal stuff too much, but when it comes to people being stupid, when it comes to, it's like, oh, you don't want to wear a mask? Well, then you want to get tuberculosis from somebody that doesn't want to wear a mask? Come on, people.
Measles.
you know.
Yep. Thankful
So,
said I still wear mine, and she says I had 4 boosters, no COVID. I knock on wood, I've not had COVID. Neither has my husband yet, and we both got
well,
that for a mask.
technically, I didn't have it. They just know what it was.
Oh, they didn't know what it was.
They didn't know what it
Yeah.
was.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
because it was
it was
before.
2020. But I'm
Wow.
seriously, I went to the eye doctor and it was like I had changed my glasses twice and I was going and they were getting worse and worse. It was like I was losing my eyesight. It was scary as hell.
Well,
And
I'm glad you're
the
okay.
only thing I could taste was watermelon. It was the weirdest thing. The only thing that I could tolerate was the taste of watermelon. Everything else tastes like turpentine or pepper. And again, each day my lungs were getting harder to breathe. And so it was scary. You
It
know,
was scary, yeah, I bet, because
and for 3 months. And so I had friends that were bringing me food, friends, helping me out. And I mean, Christ, I volunteered a hospice years ago, and I felt like, do I have to go to a hospice now? Am I going to die? That's where my head was at. And
wow.
so when people are saying, well, oh, it's all fake, the masks and everything, it's all fake. It's like, really?
Yeah, well, look, they had refrigerator trucks. They had so many people.
Hmm.
And then nurses were wearing garbage bags, some of them to protect
Yeah.
themselves. Some of them couldn't go home to their children
Hmm.
because they were afraid being around it that they could give it to their children. And, I have grandchildren I couldn't see. They had to come. I got 2 foster grandchildren that I couldn't get to see first during then, because that's when she got them during the COVID. She had to bring them up to my window so I
Hmm.
could say hello, and I wanted to hug them so bad. I don't ever want to go back to that. So you know,
So when
it's
people
so
said to me, you got a flu shot? Isn't that kind of silly? You know what flu shots are like. I'm like, um, I'm not ready to go to the next realm. I'm not. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice lifetime sometimes, but
right.
I still have a lot of people that drive crazy in this lifetime, so I'm not ready to go yet.
Yep.
So yeah, I
Me
got a flu
too.
shot. I got sick, but I had actually a relative screaming at me how stupid I was to get a flu shot. I'm like, because you got what? Because I got sick. It means my body's working. You
Yeah,
know.
it's really common. When I had it scheduled to have my shot, I had it where I didn't have any shows for a few days after, because
Mhm.
I thought, what if I get a fever? Sometimes they say you'll get a low grade fever or
Well,
you might.
I mean, I had shows planned, or at least I was hoping to. And today's the first day out of bed for me.
Yep.
Really, I
Ali
wasn't.
said, I just love your sense of humor, said it's subtle like the British. One has to think a minute to catch it. It
Sometimes I'll
is.
be honest with you. Sometimes I say things I don't realize I say them until actually I watch the show. And the one time I talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene, my tragic girlfriend, when I said, I can't wait till she has that come to Jesus meeting and Jesus bitch slaps her.
Yeah.
And I still mean it. I can't wait for that day.
Thankful says bleach everything.
Yeah,
You
bleach.
remember
Yeah,
when
yeah, bleach in your veins, Mr. Trump. Thank you. And listen, people,
and a
I'm sorry
bright
if I went off
light.
on a tangent just now. I apologize. I do. Just
What does this say? No mask. That's something else we can thank Trump for. He didn't like how he looked in one. Yep. Now over 1 million Americans are gone. He's going to answer for so much after he passes. Yeah, he knew how serious this was, and he said,
mm,
I wanted to keep it on the down low.
yeah. Let me
He
know.
wanted.
Read the what's his name's book. Bob Woodward's book. Read. I have it here.
I want to read that book. And what is this one here? Did we do this? We're about done here.
We did that.
Trump has come out. Did we do that
We
one?
did that one about Steve Millen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we already did about Mike Johnson. What is he hiding? Let's see.
Who?
Why did President Xi meet with Biden? Is he scared that their economy will worsen and that he will face pressures to resign?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's financial, because China is not doing. Their GDP is 60% compared with the United States is right now.
Yeah. And look at Russia. Their economy and everything's, going so bad. And so,
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
also
think that's it.
because of sanctions and everything. But
All righty.
but she's still a dictator. I loved it when Fox yelled at Biden for calling Xi a dictator, but then they said, dictator Xi. It's like, excuse me? Didn't make any sense. No, but Biden is the statesman. He's the adult in the room. He knows what he's doing, people. And when people say, well, he's old, it's like he's seasoned. Did anybody complain that FDR was in a wheelchair?
Yeah, in some countries, when people are older, they actually respect them more because they have wisdom. There is wisdom with age. He's had a lot of experience.
Some of my relatives, it's just insanity, but it's another story.
What did you
Some of
say?
my relatives, it's insanity with age, but that's another story.
Well, yeah, I have a couple of those too. They say there's some nuts on everybody's family tree. But let's see. Oh, I had 2 questions that were personal. We're gonna close off, but I'll go ahead and do this real quick. Do you mind just doing these 2 for these 2 last people? I wasn't gonna do anything either. Just put my pajamas on and watch some Salem.
Everybody says, there's always a village idiot. Hi, how you doing?
You are not. You are not. You're so smart. You're smarter than I'll ever be. Sandra Marks. Hello, you two. Do my guides have a message for me? I know they are around me. I'll throw a card for you here real quick. Let's see.
Have more confidence in yourself. You question yourself on everything you're doing, and you're paralyzing yourself, especially for the last 4 months. You're not making any mistakes. Don't think that, well, if I do this, people will think this, people will think that. Don't give a rat's whatever what somebody thinks. Just do what you know is right in your heart, and you do it for yourself, not for other people. Your confidence level has been low because you've been putting yourself down, because you're allowing other people to tell you things that you believe. I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates. Remember, God makes no mistakes. You're supposed to be exactly where you are and who you are supposed to be. I hope that helps. Okay.
Well, I got that you are a visionary. You're learning how to put your visions and your ideas into action. But you sabotage yourself sometimes. You create pain for yourself. You stand in your own way. You have a lot of potential to do a lot of things, but sometimes your own mind kind of, it sabotages you. You're currently experiencing a lesson that's required for your spiritual growth and evolution. And I got the card of joy for you, and I'm going to read that. It says, like a child, I discovered joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. So, instead of thinking of the negative things, and we all need to do this, just think of the things that bring you joy. There's so much things in the world right now that are bringing people down with the politics and everything else. But we need to think of all the happy things, especially with Thanksgiving coming. Think of the things that you're happy and you're joyful for. And that's the message that I got. So I don't know if that helps, but that's what I got. Let's see here. And then Deb, I'm in my 60s and not having luck finding a man that wants to be more than a friend with benefits. Will I find a man who wants to build a healthy relationship? Okay, let me try to throw some cards on that.
I get a yes on that. It's not right away. Believe me, you're not going to be the lady with the cats, dogs, and critters on some animal TV hoarder show. On the newspapers. I feel there's somebody organically coming your way that you meet through a friend of a friend or friends of friends in April. They may not be ready to start anything at that moment, but it's a friendship that has to start. And I don't see the word dating. I see the word courting, which is the old-fashioned way. So you meet in April, and then as we get into June and July, that's when things can start becoming more companionship. And it's not friends with benefits.
Okay. So. And I got that you're going to find somebody that you're going to be attracted to. It is going to start out with just kind of teasing each other and flirting a little bit. And, but they said right now, before you're with anybody, you have to worry about working on your own self-worth and your own value. And it's time for you to heal. I got that you might need to do some shadow work, like maybe why do you do certain things, and start appreciating, work on self-appreciation, because you need to love yourself first, they're saying. But I do feel like you're going to meet a soulmate, a soul connection, somebody that is in your soul contract, a life partner. I will do my pendulum and see what I get for time. Entertainment purposes only. I don't know, it could be off. Okay. Will you meet somebody this year? No. Will it be next year? Yes. I'm going to go to my numbers on the pendulum. What month? I'm getting like maybe June or July. What did you get, Arthur? Remind me, what did you say?
I said they may meet originally in April, but that doesn't mean things start. But then as we get into June, I said June, July, around there.
Yeah, okay. So it'd be, in the meantime, they're saying work on your own self-love. Work on yourself, loving you. So that's what I got, you guys. I thank you so much for coming. And I know we went a little bit over, Arthur. I love being with you, and I enjoy myself, and I enjoy being with you guys too. So we'll do this again. And please go and subscribe to Arthur. He is great. And listen to some of his meditation videos, because they are great. And I put them on my playlist. I listen to them all the time. And so they're great. The music, he does the music. He does everything. And
I'm going to interrupt you. For this time of year, also, I have one called Gratitude.
Oh, see, now that's perfect for what we were talking about. Yeah, it's perfect for right now. I'm going to listen to that one tonight. So yeah, gratitude. I really think that when you are grateful for things, I usually tell people to write down 3 things a day they're grateful for, because when I get myself down in the dumps and I do that, it lifts my spirits. I stop thinking about the negative and I start thinking about the positive, what I do have. And if you look at that and write it down every day, it gets bigger and bigger. You'll realize there's more good things than bad.
I woke up breathing. I opened my eyes. Little things.
Yeah. Yeah. I had food in my belly. I had too much food in my belly, actually. But you guys have a really nice night. And thank you so much. I'm going to put my little closing thing on here in a second.
And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving.
And thank you for taking your time to stay with us tonight.
Yes, we appreciate you all. Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.